welcome to another Daily Digest video. I'm Merriam. Today I'm playing a Tribal Zoo deck, but this one is much more blue heavy than this archetype traditionally has been because it is trying to incorporate Delver of Secrets. Also gets to play Snapcaster Mage, which is really good with the very powerful burn spells in the deck. And there's just a little bit of disruption with Spell Snare and some counter spells in the sideboard to help out against combo and control decks. So cool looking archetype. We're definitely going to have to be very careful with how we use our fetch lands to make sure our tribal flames are on and that we can just cast our spells. With 3 lands, it's pretty easy. We can start on... Yeah, we can pretty easily just get Stomping Grounds with this Misty. There are no black cards in the deck. This one Blood Crypt is just here to facilitate 5-point tribal flames. There's a couple Lingering Souls in the sideboard, I guess, but yeah, this gets Stomping Ground. That'll make our Nicodle a 3/3. Though we won't be able to Nicodle plus Forked Bolt on turn 2 if we want to. Still definitely a keep. It's possible I want to Nicodle on 1 now. That way I can Delver plus Forked Bolt on 2 and curve out. Because I definitely want to get Stomping Ground here. Yeah, they're on the play, right? This is their beginning combat step. Just making sure. Okay. Hopefully they don't click through their first turn. Okay. Looks like they've got the stops. We're good. Tron. Okay. Well, this is not a matchup where I'm going to be using this Forked Bolt, although maybe I do want to curve out. This is definitely a matchup where our counter spells are going to be good. So I'm glad those are there. 4th land was a bad draw. How do we best pressure our opponent? I mean, I do want to curve out, and I think I want to guarantee the 3, so I'm still going to lead on Nicodle. Not what we wanted to see. Is this ever what you want to see? Even if you're playing a deck with a good Tron matchup, seeing them go Tron land map on the play is a frightening experience. Tron just one of those decks that is powerful enough to win bad matchups with good draws on the play. Though we are a good deck against Karn, and we have Path to Exiles for Wormcoils. And our threats are robust enough that we don't have to overextend into O-Stone. It's really the more powerful stuff. Oh man, our opponent disconnected. What's going on? BRB. Well... Huh. Wonder what they're doing. Hopefully they're back quickly, but you never know. So let's take a moment to acquaint ourselves with the sideboard. 2 Ceremonious Rejection, 1 Negate, a Spell Pierce, a Gaddock Teague, 2 Solid Pride Mage, 2 Stonies. Okay, that is a sideboard. 9-card sideboard essentially. Going to be bringing out the Spell Snares. They can counter Sylvan Scrying, but that's it. I just don't want such a narrow answer when they have so few targets for it. Definitely going to bring out the Forked Bolts, the weakest burn spell for sure. I don't think I can cut any creatures. I'm bringing in 1 Teague and 2 Pride Mage. Oh, maybe I can. I am bringing in... I am bring in 5 cards that don't flip Delver of Secrets. So maybe I need to trim on Delvers in the post-board games because they're not gonna flip as readily. So maybe you trim like a couple Delvers and then a Lightning Helix. That makes sense to me. Yeah. Possible I don't want something like Pride Mage. It doesn't do a whole lot. Most of the artifacts, killing them that early isn't that good, or isn't that feasible. And O-Stone is going to be a hard one to tag with it, unless they just have no Tron. We don't have a way to keep them off of Tron, really. So maybe I just don't want the Pride Mages and leave in the Delvers. That's going to leave me with... So I have 2 Rejection, a Pierce, and a Negate, 4 Instants and Sorceries, and I said I was going to cut the Spell Snares, the Forked Bolts, and a Burn Spell, so that'll only leave me with 22 spells. Yeah, it seems kind of weak. I might have to cut some Delvers still, just because 22 spells is a pretty low number to flip them. This deck's already operating on a pretty bare minimum with 25, but Delver's just so powerful that it's worth it. You also have a lot of fetch lands in this deck, so you end up getting the upkeep, trigger my Delver, crack my fetch if I don't want to draw it, free scry a lot, which is nice. One of my favorite interactions, actually. Love getting free card selection. Okay, opponent is back. They should let us resolve our fetch fairly quickly. Or, I don't know, stare at their hand a little bit more about how they're going to crush us. No. Okay, want the Stomping Ground to pair with our Hallowed Fountain. Most of the gold cards in this deck are red, white, and green, white out of the sideboard, so we'll be wary of that. So that this combination is pretty good, as opposed to something like Sacred Foundry and Breeding Pool, or Temple Garden and Steam Vents. You know, sometimes your hand curves in a way that you need to get those, but if you don't have to, this is preferable. Okay, well, Spell Snare definitely does not look like it's going to be good. I will pay 2 life, run this Forked Bolt out. Let's get my 2 damage. Now I got 3 more damage. Still have Helix back to deal with a Karn, if that's what they do. Although if they Karn, they might Karn Plus. If they Karn Plus, I'll probably just attack them. Hope to get a 6 ball in here, get them to 9, and go from there. Batter Skull. Huh. Okay, looks like our opponent is Eldrazi-tron. And I'm getting very punished for spewing that Forked Bolt. Yes, let's reveal. I guess this does change things a bit. Definitely going to want the Pride Mages in this matchup to help play around Chalice. Maybe I still want Spell Snare. Well, all that time I spent thinking about sideboarding, I'm going to have to rethink. I'm not a huge fan of spending a ton of burn spells at this Germ, because they have 8 mana. They can just bounce the Batterskull and recast it. But when they attack, I have to block them the Coddle and use a burn spell on it. This attack gets them to 12, then I get them to 9. I have another burn spell. That's 6. Even if I draw Tribal Flames, I'm going to be 1 short. But I guess if I rip like back-to-back burn spells, maybe I can do something. I think that's better than just sending both here. I guess actually just sending both here is probably best, right? Because I get my 6 in still. They have to spend their entire turn doing that, whereas this other line they get to do something else with their turn. Yeah, okay. I didn't need life points anyway. I guess I do get 3 more back. That's nice. Main deck Batterskull. Six you. Hopefully they spend their turn doing some other nonsense. Does not seem like that's going to be the case. Oh, Jesus. Huh. Yeah, that'll do, pig. That'll do. This doesn't do much of anything, but sure, why not? Do you think these spell slingers are still... They don't have a lot of 2-drops in this deck, but they do have Chalice on 1, which is going to be important for me to answer. Yeah, now they just recast this Batter Skull, and I'm in rough shape. Got a little trigger happy with my burn spells. Yeah, this makes sense. They get to take the last card, clear the way for the Batter Skull. Sure. Just play another Mind Stone. Clear the way for the Mind Stone, too. Man. Good ops for my opponent. And I am dead. Okay. Eldrazi Tron. Still definitely want Ceremonious Rejection. Still want Gaddock Teague. Still want Pride Mages. Still want Stony Silences. Stony's not as good in this matchup, but it does shut off Walking Ballista, which I like. Not sure if I want Negate and Spell Pierce. My guess is I don't, because I need more interaction for their big creatures. Do I bring... I have so many ones and so few answers to Chalice. But I am on the play. I think I'm going to want some Spell Snares on the draw, but on the play, I'm not as enthused by them. And I do still think I'm going to trim some Delvers. And Forkbolt doesn't seem great still. Matter Reshaper's kind of an issue, but I have a bunch of removal for it. It's also just another one. This leaves me at 23 spells. I need to add another card. Do I just want another Delver to get aggressive on the play? Do I want like counter spell? I think I'm going to have just another Delver and try to be aggressive here. Yeah, we're still all 1s and 2s. Play first. Ugh. 4 lands with 2 snaps and no spells for them. That's a ship. And now we have an awkward 1-lander. I'm definitely keeping it. The question is what land I get, and I think this is time for the awkward breeding pool, because I think it's going to be more important for me to have Rejection up next turn than Bolt, even though that leaves Nicodle as a 1/1. I'm so tempted to just not play a 1-drop so I can guarantee make my second land drop. Oh, the second land drop is pretty important. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Just land go. Ooh, they start on a waste. That I am very happy about. So now I am getting green, red, blue, white. Yes. Okay. Green, red, and blue, white. Them starting on wastes kind of suggests to me that they have a Chalice. If they don't have a really explosive hand for their normal game plan, they must have a card that's really good against me. So I'm just going to run out this Teague to stop a Chalice. If they have Dismember at a Chalice, then we have Pride Mage, so not the end of the world. Which is, of course, what they have. I could have gotten a Coddle, Hold Up, Rejection, but I really want to get the 2-drops down so that I can double spell better later. I'm going to shock myself here just to ensure they can't have another removal spell to protect this chalice. I'm not going to end a turn use the Pride Mage, though. I want to get some more damage in. Walking Ballista on 1 is fine. That doesn't really do a whole lot. My creatures are rather large. Okay. This Ghost Quarter could be a little annoying, but with them having such a weird mana base, they probably can't afford to use it on me. I believe I have a mountain and an island. Or is it just an island? Ugh. Okay, well, they've wisely understood that I'm popping this Pride Mage this turn and just chump blocking here to save 3 life, because that Ballista also isn't very good. So good play from our opponent. Blow this up. Play this Nicodle. And play this Temple Garden tapped. And leave up Hallowed Fountain. And even if they Ghost Quarter the Hallowed Fountain, we can get an island, and we still have another white source because of this Temple Garden. This is another Chalice. Well, I have the answer this time. This game probably would have gone a whole lot better if I had just played Nicodle and held up Rejection. I lost a lot of tempo playing it the way I did because of the Dismember. So maybe that was a mistake. And now I'm flooding a bit, but they just missed a land drop, so... No, they didn't. Yeah, Thought Not Seer. Can't really beat that one. I'm going to keep this fetch around. If I draw Tribal Flames, I'll be able to get the black source with it. Ugh, God. I think I've drawn land. I've drawn land every single turn this game, right? Because I kept a 1-lander. And now I'm under so much pressure because I deal myself damage with lands. Ugh. This is not good. Oh, geez, they just hit another land. It was probably a smasher. Okay, just another Thought Knot. Still bad. If I can draw a Path or Tribal Flames, I might be able to get something going. Wow. Okay. That's, what, 6 straight lands in my 19 land deck? Sure. Not even sure how many fetchable lands I have left. Oh. Oh, no. I thought there was a... Yeah, I don't. Normally, I think I have this stop on attackers. Okay, well, I died a turn early. Let's see what I would have drawn. Lightning Helix, sure, wouldn't have done anything. I was living off the hope that I could chain 2 big removal spells for these into something relevant. They still have 3 cards in hand. Like I'm under 5% to win that game for sure. Probably even worse than that estimate. I mean, that game I just draw lands, but I guess I would have been in better shape if I'd gone to Coddle, they Dismember it, I Rejection, I untap, I probably still play Teague to prevent second Chalice, then they play Ballista on 1, I get to play Pride Mage, attack for 3, and with the Bolt in my hand, and then I don't have to. The fact that I don't have to use the Pride Mage on the first Chalice leaves me with another creature. Though I'm still in rough shape when they play the Thought Knot Seer. Like I can only attack with a 3/3. I have the Bolt, but I have to use that in response. Yeah, so I ended up bolting them. I still would have been in pretty rough shape. At some point, I would have been able to double block and 2-for-1 myself to deal with the Thought Knot, but then they just land the other Chalice and lock out the rest of my deck. So it really just flooded that game. But an interesting decision on both my like keep and decision to skip turn one, so I did a second land. Ended up getting pretty punished, drawing all lands after that. But maybe I just need to take the risk there, get Breeding Pool, and play Nacatl on one, and hope to draw another fetch and go from there. And if I break, I have rejection for a turn. Not sure. Um, Definitely a tough matchup where they have creatures that are bigger than mine, and Chalice is just such a big deal. But I have a lot of good tools: Teak, Pride Mage, Rejection in the board, and good removal in the main between Path and Tribal Flames, so I can kill big creatures through a Chalice. But just didn't get to play too much Magic in those games. Still a sweet deck. Hope you enjoyed watching it, and you can come back and see me on Monday. Bye.